My name is Aaron Wright, messenger from Grace Family Baptist Church in Houston, Texas. Dr. Allen, I want to say to you that our church really appreciates all the work that you have done. We appreciate many of the professors that you've put in place, the books that they've published. I won't say their names, but we really appreciate all the work that they've done and that you're doing. Additionally, we appreciate the joint statement that you signed along with the other seminary presidents speaking your position on critical race theory. That was very important, and putting together such a statement allowed our church to see where you stand. We were able to read what you wrote. We didn't have to think, we didn't have to guess. We didn't have to look at a blog that a seminary president wrote and then think, well, where does Dr. Allen stand? My question to you is this: would you please share with us where you stand on equal protection under the law for all image bearers, as well as the abolition of abortion, so that our church can have clarity on where you stand on these issues? Thank you.
To answer your question, I am absolutely pro-life from the womb to the tomb. From the moment of conception, all the way through natural death. I am absolutely pro-life. I fully affirm and believe the respective resolutions this convention has passed over the years in this regard, and I stand and lead an institution that's committed to honoring life every way, especially those most vulnerable, and the most vulnerable of all are those who are yet to be born. Thank you, sir.
My name is Brandon Allen. I'm a messenger from Ecclesia Muskogee in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Dr. Akin, thank you for your leadership in this convention and for all your labors to train up faithful men who will be able to teach others also. As a man of great influence here, would you speak to your personal position on the abolition of abortion? Specifically, do you believe our existing homicide code that protects you and me should be equally applied to children in the womb?
Thank you, my brother. I'll reiterate what Dr. Allen said a moment ago. I have been a staunchly pro-life advocate all of my life. My wife and I have given thousands and thousands of dollars to crisis pregnancy centers. I have written letters to my senators and my representatives. I have never, and would I never, ever vote for a pro-choice candidate under any circumstances or in any context. In addition to that, I cannot say it any better. I believe in protecting human life from the moment of conception to natural death, and that is where I stand on the issue of abortion.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your hard work at Southern all these years. I especially appreciate your recent episode of The Briefing, during which you made the following helpful and important statement on abortion. Quote, "There are many situations in which it would well seem that agency has been exercised by a woman, and she should be held as complicit in either the death of her unborn child or the effort to secure such a death. The law, in its own way, is capable of making these discernments." End quote. Thank you for that. Now, my question has two parts. One just has to do with you as president of Southern, the second with Southern itself. Part one. What are your thoughts as president of Southern Seminary on abolishing abortion by applying the same homicide code that protects you and me to all image bearers from the moment of fertilization? Second part, what is Southern Seminary teaching in order to equip students to be faithful to Christ in the midst of this abortion holocaust, even by preparing them to minister the gospel at abortion clinics? Dr. Mohler, I just want to make sure that my question is clear. I'm not asking if Southern or you are pro-life, because I believe Southern and you are.
Thank you for that question. Dr. Mohler?
No, I think I understand the question, and it's an interesting time for all these things to be discussed in a different context in our country, because even as Southern Baptists have been meeting here, we've been meeting here with the knowledge that the Supreme Court is, if not while we're here, shortly after we go home, about to release the decision in the Dobbs case, which is likely, we hope and pray, to reverse Roe v. Wade after nearly 50 years of American carnage. So we have to hope and pray that that will happen.
Amen.
The law, as I just said, I didn't mean to bring it up for this reason, but the Moynihan law also prevails here in that politics is downstream from culture, so politics is a matter of negotiation to try according to the law to achieve maximum justice and righteousness. To answer your question specifically, looking at the clock, warned by the president about long-windedness, as I look to the clock, deservedly, Mr. President, as I look to the clock, I simply want to say, I understand what you're asking, and we understand homicide is the death or the killing of a human being, an unborn baby. I believe from the moment of conception to natural death is a human being deserving of that protection. The law has means of making discernments and distinctions in agency, and that means moral responsibility, and in context. How we make that apply in a question of abortion, where even in terms of, say, a miscarriage, things may be difficult sometimes medically to define, I believe the law is capable of making those distinctions. In the same way we have different degrees of murder, we have different kinds of indictments possible in criminal charges. So in other words, I believe that there are many cases in which demonstrably there is not just an abortionist who should face criminal consequences, but a woman seeking an abortion. So that is something that we believe the law should pursue. We also understand that that is not something that is likely to come in all 50 states anytime soon. The moment, for instance, the Dobbs decision comes out, if Roe v. Wade is reversed, it's going to mean a state-by-state battle for the sanctity of human life. And so I am very happy with the law that was just passed and very clearly supported the law just passed in Oklahoma, which calls for a total ban on abortion. I think pro-life states are going to be able to move pretty quickly. And then we've got Illinois, Rhode Island, dare I say California and New York that are so committed to the culture of death on the issue of abortion, they're actually inviting persons to come from pro-life states to California to have abortions that the governor of California says he even wants the state of California to pay for, even talking about paying for transportation. The culture of life and the culture of death will never be more clearly before our eyes than what we're likely to see in coming days if Roe v. Wade is reversed, and we must hope and pray that it is. And at Southern Seminary, we are seeking to raise up ministers of the gospel, missionaries and others who firmly understand what's at stake in the issue of abortion. And right now, we have students who day by day and week by week are on the front lines of this battle, along with faculty, including outside the abortion clinics, bearing witness to life.